So the next topic that we'll be covering here is in the QuickBook is about the vendors. Vendors exercises are starting from page number 60. So let's start the first exercise. Like vendor topic is on page number 60. The first exercise we will be doing is on page number 62, 3-1. So let me first let's do the same way we have done before. We need to download a file that is uh, like that is DYS chapter 3, where we will be practicing for the transaction we have to do in the vendors part. So before starting the download, I just show you one thing is like when you're working with the vendors, the same way that we have learned in the customers, you can access to vendor center using this button, like click the vendors and then click vendor center. And here you can see all the name of your customers and their projects. Sorry, all of your vendors and your projects with them. And then here the detail of your vendors and the business you have done with this vendor. So you can have all of those information in here. If you want to add a new vendor, you can always click this part from here, new vendor, or you can go to edit option and then you can add a new vendor, edit or delete the vendor. All of these options are in the edit. And then if you want to use the right click, just right click and then you'll find all of these options here as well. So QuickBook is very much user friendly. There are multiple ways of doing the same job. So I always tell my student that don't be confused or look for one way or learn one way of doing it. Just learn multiple ways of doing it. Keep exploring. You will find that QuickBook is very much user friendly. You will be finding that you can do the same job in multiple ways. Like I just show you, either you can add a new customer or edit a customer or delete a customer using the edit tab, or you can see the adding a new customer or job can be done from adding a new vendor or job can be done from here, or you can also use a right click and then you can edit a vendor or delete a vendor or whatever you want to do. You can do those from here as well. So different like multiple ways of doing the same job. And then again, previously I selected the vendors from here and then went to the vendor center, but you can also go to the vendor center using clicking this button. If you click it, and you are in the same vendor place and you have the similar options available, like vendor center has all of these options common, irrespective of the way you use to open the screen. And the third way, like the first one was here, vendor center, the second one was here, the third option is here on the screen, like desktop. Click the vendors and then you are in the same place again. So there are multiple ways of like going into the vendor center as well. So now let's start working with the exercise. So the first thing we are doing is downloading a report. Right now, we have completed the exercise with average guy. So let's close this screen, or we can just simply close company so that we can start working with the new company. And the new company, for that one, you see, whenever we are opening the QuickBook, we are actually coming up with this screen. So here we are actually creating a new company or opening a new company, that is DYS chapter 3 to work with. We have previously worked DYS chapter 2. Now we'll be working with DYS chapter 3. Either you can go in the file tab, click it and open or restore company. You can do it from here, or you can click the open or restore company from the main from the screen which is in front of you, and then you can click this button. Once you click it, then it asks you like, is it the company which is already there? Just to give you the idea that what it is asking for. You see, if you click this company and then click open, you will be doing the same part that you are doing here, like open a company and then click next. The next part is if you are restoring from a backup. So backup is if you have the backup files, you can also open it from there. But right now what we are doing is restoring a portable file. Sorry. So select the restore a portable file, because all of our exercises are actually like saved as a portable file. So we'll be selecting this part, click next. And then if you remember in the last, you can say, uh, like in the last class, I told you, in the last class, we have saved the QuickBook on the desktop. So you'll be finding it on the desktop. I have the same is on the desktop as well, but it is in the classes in progress shortcut. So here is my exercise file. You will be having it QuickBook. We created the QuickBook folder separately. So you'll be finding all the files in here. And then in this one, we'll be going to DYS chapter 3. So let me drag it down. And then you see on the left side, DYS, AYS, all of these things are going on. Now we will be going to DYS chapter 3. So here is it. So once you select it, you are on. And then click next. So once you click next, it will be asking you for the name of the company. Always remember, you can always like if you are working with a let me give you the idea. Let's say you are working in a real company name. You can type here, you will be typing here the name of the company like XYZ company, ABC company. Right now, for the sake of this exercise, I'm just showing you how to make it a little bit different. So you can see it says as DYS chapter 3. I'm just adding my name with this one. So you know that you can always change the file name or select the file name to save it as a like company file, and then you can work in that company. So once you save it, then you can just click save, and then again it's going to the QuickBooks 2018. We can also change that part. Right now I am saving all of my uh, like QuickBooks in this portion. So I can just simply select it, and then you can see all of those files that we have created today, like in these classes, are coming in here. I'll just click save. Oh, I don't have much space. Okay. So I can just simply go wherever the system takes me. Otherwise, I was just showing you how to save the data or how to save your files in a specific place. But unfortunately, I didn't realize it. My drive is full. Let me check what happened.
Stop recording in a minute and help me get through that part.
Yeah. My drive is already full. So I will just keep saving on this one. So I need to clean it up. Yeah, for the next classes. So anyways, I can just go with the flow, like as wherever the system is saving it. And then we can continue with that one. So restore uploadable file, next, and then I can save it as, just let me, open restore file, restore uploadable file, next, and the file is in classes in progress, and we are working for DYS chapter 3. DYS chapter 3, here it is, and then click next. RAZA, and then you can just simply save wherever the system says, select yes, and then save. Now it's not saving on my separate drive. It is saving on the hard disk itself, which I'm always avoiding to keep my system running faster, because if I start saving on my hard disk, then hard disk normally becomes slow. So let me save in on the desktop, and then click save. So now let me like pause the recording until it is updating, and then we'll check your screen that like whether you are yeah, like able to continue with that one or not. Like, are you working with me, or you?
Yes, yes, I am.
Your system is updating as well, right?
No, I have to, you have to get me through that step.
Okay.
That was,
then
I can't, because
let
it's hard for me to toggle back and forth.
Let me stop share and then we'll see your screen. Okay. Yeah. Share your screen. So yeah. So let's select the same. Yeah. Open restore a company. Yeah. Restore a backup portable file. Good. Next. And then see it says where is that QuickBook folder, right, where we have the exercises. We kept everything in the MS Office. Yeah. We selected, yeah, and then QuickBook, this one, click it, and then all the files are here. Go to DYS chapter 3. DYS chapter 3. Yeah, double click. Yeah. Or open. Yeah, that's fine. Double click, open. Will same. Yeah. So where you want to restore the click next. So it is asking you where you want to save these files. So we have already created one folder for the exercises. So you can again go to click the desktop, right? And then in the desktop, the MS Office is the place where we are saving it, right? Click it. And then just instead of company, type your name. So just to show you that you can change the name of the company. Just come down. No, not here. Come down, down. Yeah. See the, yeah. Click one more time. Click one more time. Yeah, just delete the name of the company in bracket and type your name. So you know that this is the exercise done by you. Yeah, that's it. And then click save. That's it. So the password is password one, capital P. Maximize it. Yeah, I'm not the admin. I've just joined with admins because this is the huge software, so you can just come. Okay, maximize it. And then, as I told you always, that I prefer to have the icons on the top, like on the top icons bar, so you can just go to the view. It pertains to view. Just go to view and then select the top icon bar. So you have all the, and you have much bigger screen size. You can work with it. So let me share my screen. And just Ms. Gina, you can, if you can just minimize it, like restore it, then half of the screen will be your screen and half of the screen will be my screen. Then you can like watching me. Yeah, so it would be easier, right? So
Yeah,
let's.
Okay.
You forgot to do that part. So yeah, no worries. So let's start working with sharing sharing the screen. So let me start working my exercise. It says, do you want to continue? It needs to update the company. I click yes, and then it will update the company. Always remember, QuickBook never allow you to enter the files unless you update the company files or whatever the update is offering you. You need to accept it. Just maximize it. Go to view, top icon bar, and that's it. So now you can see this is my uh, dashboard, and this is the insight of my company, like how my company is performing uh, this month or whatever the month you can select, as of today, as of whatever the date you can select. But right now we are working with the vendors, so let's start working with the vendors. As I told you, you can go to vendor center in different ways, selecting from here and going to vendor center, or you can go to the vendor center from here, or you can go to the vendor center from here. So let's start working with the first exercise that says we need to uh, edit one of the vendor, which is graphic supply shop. So in any ways, like either you go from here, vendor center, or you go from here, or you can go from here, you will be always reaching this place, which says graphic supply shop. And you can see the information in this name is not correct. Not correct means I can feel that the name is not correct, but they're not updating the name. They're updating the information about this vendor. So you can do two ways: either double click, and you are in the you can say you are in the place where you will be updating the customer's details, or you can also right click and then edit vendor. So both of these things are possible. You can also do, you have already selected the vendor, you can go to edit and then click edit vendor. So multiple ways of doing the same job. So you don't have to you don't have to, you can say confused, or you can say uh, like in doubt or confused how to do the job. QuickBook is very user friendly. You can do one job in multiple ways. So once you are in the details, you need to update the phone number. Let me see. So you can update the phone number. Main phone number is 212 555 6743, and the address is, you see the address is already here. You can always type after here, but I suggest, in order to avoid any mistake, I always suggest that we type from this edit button. So then you can just type the address, which is 302 E 44th Street, and then the city is New York. State province is New York. Zip code is 10017. And then if you want to update the country or region, you can update it. Otherwise, you can simply click OK. And again,
100,
sorry,
10017. Okay, got it. All righty.
wonderful.
Okay. Oops.
And just in case, if you have this, like if the vendors, you can say shipping address is different. Like normally what happen is, for the customers, we have the shipping address where we have to send those items to. But if the shipment from address is different, like the customer office is in Dubai, but the customer's production house is in, let's say, Pakistan or China. So what will happen? They will be sending you invoice from Dubai address, but at the same time, their shipment will be coming from China or some other part of the world. So you can update the shipment from address here. But right now, we don't have anything different here. So we can always click copy. Once you say copy, copy means the shipment address and the billing address is same. So you can just simply make sure that the details are in the correct place. Of course, you have checked it in the first place, so it will be correct. But just to make sure that it's like correct, the details are correct, just simply click OK, and the details are updated. That's it. So now in the vendor, normally what we need to learn: how to add a vendor, how to edit a vendor, how to inactivate a vendor, and how to delete a vendor. The same thing we have learned for the customer: how to add a customer, how to edit a customer, how to like how to inactivate a customer, and how to delete a customer. These are normally the four instances that we are doing. In customers, we also learn how to merge the customers. But here we'll be learning how to add, edit, uh, inactivate, and delete. So what we have learned now is edit a customer. One more thing, like I previously I just used the edit option from the top. Now I'm just double clicking, and you can see we are in the same screen where we are updating the detail of the customer. So what we can do, let's say if I have to update the payment settings, I can click it and update the payment settings. If I have to do the text settings, I can do that part. If I have to do the account settings, I can do that part. If I have to update some addition info, I can do that part. So once I update it, I can just simply click OK, and everything that I have updated will be done. So now we have done how to edit a vendor. Now we are learning how to add a vendor. How you can add a vendor? The same way, go to edit option here, and then you can select new vendor, or you can go to this tab and then click new vendor, this new vendor tab, and then click the new vendor. Or you can also right click and click new vendor. Three ways. Almost you find that most of the time in QuickBooks we can do at least three ways, like to do the same job. Like there are there are multiple ways of doing the same job. So let's say if I want to create a new vendor, I will be just selecting new vendor here, and I am in the portion where I can update the detail of a vendor. So the name of the vendor is GJB Wireless. So I'll be updating it GJB Wireless Incorporated Inc. And then the company name is same. Again, QuickBook is very much user friendly, so you can just simplify it like the way we did in the MS Office. Either you can press the left, like you can press the left mouse key and then drag it left. It will be copying the name correctly, and then you can just simply say Control C, or right click and copy. Both of these are same. Copy it, and then you can just simply come to the company name, and then here you can just simply say Control V or right click and paste. The same as like we were doing in the MS Office. So once you have selected the GJB Wireless in the company name, the contact person will be Mr. Amir Dhanu. So the name of the person is Amir Dhanu, but his title will be Mr. So we are typing Mr. Amir Dhanu. If you just see here, whatever you're typing here is automatically coming here. When you press a tab button, name of the person, like the contact person, and the company name automatically come here. And Amir Dhanu is the business sales representative. So you can type here the his designation, like whether he's a CEO, he is the owner, or what type of position he's holding in the company, so that it will help you in future. So once you have this information, then you can type the phone number, which is the main phone number, which is 650 529 1112, and then type the address. Again, I like we can type the address like clicking from here in the next place, but I always prefer to go with the edit option. This time let's try to do the address from here. So 721 Chicago Avenue, and then Bayshore, California 91547. So just for the sake of making sure that the address has come to the right place, I'm clicking the edit button. So system has done it properly. If I'm okay with it, I'll be just making click OK. Then if I have different address for the shipment place, I can write it here. But if I don't have this the separate address for this information, I can just simply click copy. So what will happen, whatever the address I have mentioned here will be copy in the next box. So you can just simply click copy and then click OK, and everything is copied. So once you are done, just simply click OK. Just in case if you made any mistake, you found that whatever the information is here is wrong, you can go, you can click the edit button, and then you can adjust, like it is still editable. So you can just simply change wherever you want to make changes. Right. You can select whatever you want to do, like New York or whatever the state you want to select. So once you are happy with the changes, or if you are done with the changes, simply click OK. And then to finalize this page, you can select OK. But just to give you the idea, you can click OK from here, and then you see the page is closed. But actually system wanted us, or exercise wanted us to update more information in this one. So again, this is the same way you did before. Just double click, like we are updating the detail of the GJB wireless. You can double click from here, or you can click the edit button and select edit vendor, or you can right click and say edit vendor. So if you by chance close the window for updating the customers or vendors detail, don't worry about it. You don't need to get confused or get scared of it, or just get you can say uh, tensed about it. It's very easy. You close it. I close it purposely so that I can show you. Now you can see it. You can just simply click edit vendor, and then you are in the same screen. So now I want to update the detail of the payment settings. I can click the payment settings. The payment settings are like we have to update the name of account of the customer. So account number is E31W00, sorry, 006. So once you update it, the payment terms with this customer is 30 days, like he need. So let's discuss about the, so with this one is 30 days. It means uh, you see, if you remember, we have the similar payment terms with the customers, where uh, if I want to, if the customer give us like customer buy from us, he needs to pay us within 30 days. But if he pays us within 10 days, he will be getting 1% discount. There's another way, like customer needs can pay us within 30 days, but if he pays within 10 days, he will get 2% discount. So we can add more similar items as well. But just for the sake of understanding, sometimes as soon as the consignment is shipped, uh, the we need like customer needs to pay us, and then if something is received on customer's desk, then they need to pay us. Sometimes customer need to pay us in 15 days, 30 days, or 60 days. Like either they pay early, or after, like on the last day of the payment. There is no discount in it. So there are different ways. The similar way, the way we have done in the customers, now we are updating our terms with the vendors, whether it's 1% 10 net 30 means we can pay within 30 days. But if you pay in 10 days, then we get 1% discount. So when the people are working in businesses, 1% sometimes becomes thousands of dollars, because they are not working like us. Like they are not like us, who actually do a transaction for, like let's say $500 or $1,000. They are normally making transactions of hundred of thousands of dollars, or sometimes millions of dollars. So 1% may become a very good handsome amount there when they can pay it earlier. So all of these things, when it comes to businesses, uh, they they can decide which decision they can take. So the same way, you don't only fix or keep this thing in blank. Normally you need to make sure that you update the right thing, like 1% net 30. So once the payment is due, or when you have the you can say your bills for payment are like created, you know that if you pay within this many days, you can get this much discount as well. So the same way, if you pay within 30 days, it's fine. But if you pay within 10 days, you'll be getting 1% discount from your vendors. The same way, if you are getting the, if you're paying in 30 days, it's all the way opposite to your relationship with the customers. There, the customer is getting benefit if they are paying earlier. Here, you will be getting benefit if you are paying to your vendors earlier. So, or you need to send the money to the vendors as soon as they consign they ship the order, or once you receive the order, then you need to pay to the vendors, or you need to pay to the vendor in 15 days of receiving or whatever the terms are set with your customers. So all of these are different ways of when your payment will become due. And when you update this part, your system will start tracking it, and it will and that will avoid missing any payments when like system is checking it. Why? Because it will give you notification like 10 days before, then 1 week before, then 3 days before, then last day of the payment. It keeps you popping up that this payment is due within this date, this payment is due. So it will be lesser chance that you miss any payment. So once you select it, it will be done. So with this customer, we have the payment terms as net 30. So we need to pay this customer within 30 days of like when you receive the goods. So when the invoice is created, like whenever you receive the invoice, you have to pay within the 30 days. And then next part is additional info. If you want to put some additional info, then you can create it here. And then here you can see vendor types. This uh, so this vendor type is service provider. So we have created this account for GJB Wireless. It is sort of the person, or like we have the AT&T or other companies that are providing similar services like the Wi-Fi services. So this is the person, or this is the company that is providing us Wi-Fi services. So this vendor is actually a service provider. So you can just simply click service provider. So once you click it, click OK, and this vendor is created. So now you can see GJB Wireless is one of your vendors. So now we know how to edit a vendor, how to add a vendor. Now we'll be learning how to delete a vendor. And just in case if you want to make a vendor inactive, it's very easy. Let's say you are buying. Let me see if there's a transaction. There's an exercise for that one. No. So let me show you that part as well, because there's no exercise for inactivating a vendor right now. So let's say if you are working with GJB with Bayshore Wireless until last month, but now you feel that you will not be working with this vendor anymore. Simply click right click and then make vendor inactive. You can select this part from here, or you can click the edit button from the top and then click make vendor inactive. So now the vendor is gone. So that's how you can inactivate a vendor. So now we know how to add a vendor, how to edit a vendor, how to inactivate a vendor. Let me make him active again, all vendors. And then, because it is not part of the exercise, I just make it. Otherwise, in future, when we have something to do with the Bayshore Wireless, we'll be just stuck. So let me make this vendor active again. So now we know how to make the vendor active or inactive. So the last part is how to delete a vendor. So very easy. It is not advisable to delete a vendor because the vendors are carrying a lot of detail. If nothing, at least you have all the details, like the contact person, the details, phone numbers, address. So it is not advisable to delete the vendor. But just in case, if you want to delete it, so we are learning here. The paper palace is, we are doing an exercise to delete this vendor from our QuickBook. You can say from our QuickBook record. So what you can do, you can simply select the name of the company that you want to delete, right click and delete vendor, or you can simply go to the edit option and click the delete vendor. So any of these will work. So let me delete it again. Delete vendor. Are you sure you want to delete this vendor? Select OK, and it's gone. But of course, deleting a vendor is not a good option. This is, I'm always telling, I'm all the time telling you for like about it, like deleting a vendor or a customer or an employee is not a good idea. But of course, when we write something, we are also learning how to delete that part as well. But even it is not a good idea when you're working with the companies. But yes, if you want to delete, you always have the option of deleting it. Now we'll be learning how to enter a bill. So once you have the vendors, the next thing you are the next thing you do with the vendors is like creating a bill. So what is bill? Like, let's say if you want to buy some items from your vendors, you are actually entering those in the bill. So first thing that we are doing here is, let's say you want to buy. So in the you can do entering the bills in multiple ways. Uh, like you can go to the vendors and then click enter bills. But we have this button already available on the screen. Just to give you the background, some of the buttons which are frequently used in in your daily life are available on the screen. But if you want to do something about the same category, like for vendors or customers or for employees or company or banking, and if you don't find those options here, you can always go to the top like icons, or you can say top like the headings, and then you can select, like if you see the vendors here, you have only two options: enter bills, pay bills. But if you go to the vendors here, you will find vendor center, bill tracker, enter bills, pay bills. The two of these are here. And then also you can print the file, item list. All of these options are also available. The same way customers, you can see only estimates, create invoice, receive payments, create sale receipts. But when you go to the customers, you will see a huge list of things you can do with the customers. Uh, a lot of options are there that you can work with. But just to give you the idea, the options when those items that you are using more frequently in the QuickBooks are visible on your desktop, so that you don't have to search for it in the tabs. So let's start working with the exercise where we are entering the bills. So either you can go to the vendors, because entering bill is a part of vendors, and then you can start entering the bills, or you can just simply enter bills from the desktop, which is here. That's it. It is as simple as that. And then you will be selecting the vendor. The vendor is GJB Wireless, so we are trying to pay this vendor some monthly payment of the services. So you select it, and then you see all the payment terms, details, and then because you are creating it today, which is 19th of October, so we have the payment terms with the customers as 30 days. You can see here net 30 days. So it has given us the idea, or reminder notice that our bill will be due on 18th of November. So you can see how the system is tracking your information, that if you have selected net 30, it has given us this detail. Just to give you the idea, if I change it to net 15, and now you can see my bill will be due by 3rd of November. So all of this is possible. All of your tracking are possible with the QuickBooks, and that will help you in minimizing the errors we make in our daily routine jobs. So next thing is uh, we are creating a bill on 10th of September 2023. So we will be creating this bill for 9091023. No need to put the slashes or anything in this one. QuickBook is smart enough to take care of this part. Just once type your date, just type the tab button on the keyboard and it will go to the next place. So reference number is invoice 0616 slash 0616 space 08 slash 2023. So it has given you the invoice number and the month for payment. I think this is uh, like it's an idea that give you that this is the reference number that you are actually needs to pay. And then the bill you receive is normally we are receiving the similar way of bills where we are paying for the previous month's transactions or previous month's usage. So it says that it is the invoice number 616 for August 2023. We received the bill in September. We have to pay by we have to pay within 30 days, which is 10th of October 2023. So system has tracked it. If you have remembered, when we have the dates for 2020, it has calculated the 30 days and give us the date when it will be due. The same way here, when we change the date of 2023, system is automatically change the due date. And then we will be going to the amount, how much money we need to pay. So that is 6128, 61.28 tab. And then we have the memo. Memo is GJB Wireless, GJB Wireless, Internet Services. of August 2023, right? So once you have inserted these details, you will click the tab. Now you are here. So as we have discussed when we were discussing about the balance sheet and income statement, that we are tracking our expenses. Uh, let's say why we are keeping the accounts, or why we are uh, like updating every transaction we are doing. Why? Because we want to take decision based on those numbers. The same way, if you don't know, if you are keep on spending without knowing where you are spending more, where you are spending less, you will not know that which of the item needs your you can say attention. Why? Because if you keep on paying extra money on something which you can save, then you will be actually your some of the money is actually automatically siphoned out of your business. Like that money is actually going to waste. So what you do, you normally put wherever you are spending, you are spending it from a specific head. So let's say if you are paying your utility bills, you'll be putting it in the utility bills, and then you can also make sure that how much money is going to the electricity, how much money is going to the telephones, how much money is going to the gas expenses. So if you are putting it separately, at the end of the year, you'll be in a better position to take decision that where you need to control. The same way, here we have the Wi-Fi expense. So now we need to see, we have to park it somewhere in some expense head, so that our balance sheet and income statement can track this expense, so that once we are generating the reports, we see the real picture that we are spending more and where we need to concentrate or give attention to reduce those extra waste of money. So here we are putting it into the computer internet expenses. So if it is there, system will find it. But let's say if it is not there, we can also create it. So let's say it is already there. If it is not there, let's say if this computer expenses was internet expenses was not there, we can always click add new, and then select it, the quick add, and then we can start working with that one. But right now this option is already here, so we'll be selecting it, and then uh, just a minute. Just
I'm trying to catch up. So
so this one I already created here, but just in case, actually I was just going with my flow. I skipped to do that part. One of the you can say changes the system was like trying to do as per the exercise. Let's say if we will be paying this bill like GJB Wireless to this, like we'll be paying this vendor the similar bill all the time. What we can do, we can mark it as a record, so that next time you don't have to select the expense from here. It will be automatically coming or going to the same computer expense account in future. Like you don't need to select the expense account from here. What you can do, you can go to the summary here on the left side, sorry, on the right side. You click it. Once you click it, the name of the vendor comes up, and then in the account setting, you can select the account setting, and then you can select the reason of payment. So you'll be always paying this vendor for the computer and internet expenses. We know that we always pay our the AT&T or Spectrum for our phone bills or TV bills, like the Wi-Fi or these type of things. The same way, if we know that we are paying these expenses like TV expense or Wi-Fi expense or phone expense to AT&T, then we know that this AT&T will be paid only for the computer internet expenses or phone bills or something. So once we select that part, next time we don't need to update it. Like we don't need to update in the expense area. As soon as we select the bill, automatically it will come here as the mode or the reason of this payment. So once you have selected this part, system is automatically showing you that 6128 is the total amount. And then do I need to? Okay. So now here comes one more thing. System wants us, exercise wants us to change the payment terms as well. Always remember that normally when we are working with the flow. The way I did not realize the system is asking me to change this thing. I didn't realize that they will be asking me to change net 50, net 30 to net 15. I was just following the process, and then I realized that now this is what the system wants you to do as well. If you are in any stage of the bill, you can always change the payment terms. So let's say if right now, once you're about to finish your transaction, you found that for this transaction or for this one and the future transactions, the payment terms has been reduced to 15 days. Like customer needs to pay within 15 days, or you needs to pay within 15 days, and then you can do it. So once you are done with all the changes, you can just simply click save and new or save and close as per the transaction requirement. So like if you have more transactions, similar transactions of bills, you can say save and new. And if this is the last one, then you can say save and close. So right now I can just do save and new. Now you see this is the important part that I was waiting for. As soon as you click save and new, you see it says you have changed the payment terms for GJB. You see, you made some of the changes. The first thing is the payment term, which is net 15. And previously there was no requirement of where this expense will be used. So you can see that uh, in the past and future transaction, do you need to use the payment terms? You can just simply say yes. So we made two changes and we got the confirmation on the last screen. And now if I go with the vendor, let's say GJB Wireless, and then you see what is the impact of those changes. Now the net 15 is the standard payment term with the vendor, and the computer and internet has become the normal mode or type of expense that we are doing for this vendor. So now I don't need to update the expense head. I don't need to update the payment terms. Okay, so now we are entering another bill, which is like the Rankin family insurance. So you can select the name of the vendor. So I don't find it here, but let's start working with the Rankin family. Rankin.
On my new bill, it says 10/10/2020.
Which one? For this one?
On the new
So,
one, yeah.
yeah, actually, actually I selected the GJB wireless, so it has updated the date as per the detail of the GJB wireless, because we already created one bill
Okay,
with the GJB wireless. So yeah, so don't worry about it. For if no worries. I just showed you. No worries. Let me do it again. Don't worry. So if I start enter bills, because I already created one, so it's saved here. So Rankin family insurance. As soon as I type the name of the company, it didn't give me any name of the company, like which is Rankin. So it means I need to add this company as my new vendor. So I can just simply click add new, or I can click tab. As soon as I click tab, what it says, do you want to quick add? If I do the quick add, it only add the name of the vendor and let me continue working with the bill. But if I select setup, then what will happen? Then it will take me to the vendor center, and then I'll be updating all the detail about the vendors. And as soon as I complete the detail, it will bring me back to the same bill. So let's see what the exercise is about. So it says go with the setup option. So we'll be doing the setup options. Quick add is very easy. It will just add the name of the customer, and then we start working with the detail of the transaction. But setup is a little bit detailed. Quick add is if the customer is in a hurry, you can update the customer information later on. Setup is when you are updating the customer's detail before even giving the sorry, if you want to complete the details of the vendors because you have enough time. But quick add is for something when your vendors or customer is in a hurry and you just need to update the name of the vendor or customer, and then you can move forward with the transaction. So let's say we are updating the details. So we'll be clicking the setup option, click setup. And here you can see all the details about the vendors you need to update. So let me start working with the name of the company is Rankin Family. Full name is, you see, this is the vendor name. So we have to copy the same name to the company name as well. So just select it, Control C. Sorry, Control C. And then in the company name, you can type Control V. So last time what I did is I select the name and then I right click and then select the copy option from here. And then I came here and paste option from here. So I did that way. This time I just do it manually using the keyboard. What I did, I just selected Control C from the keyboard and here I click and then I press Control V. So that's the similar way we were able to do in the like Word or Excel. The next part, the contact person is Mrs. Mary Rankin. So title is Mrs. Mary. The last name is Rankin, right? Now, the next thing is she is the owner of the agency, right? And her phone number is 650 555 7762. And then you have the address. So 1456 Pine Street, and then Bayshore, California 91547. Just in case, just to ensure that my data is properly inserted in the address box, I check it. It's properly inserted. I'll click OK. And then again, if you have a different shipment address, you can do it. If it's the same, you can simply copy and click OK. And that's it. So once it is done, uh, you can just simply save OK, so that all the details about this vendor will be saved. Click OK. And then you see the address and other things that you have updated become available for this vendor. Now, the date is 9/10/23. That is already there. Reference number, invoice number 769, and the month is 2023. Updated it, and then the amount due is 125.49. And in the memo you can type the reason of payment is Rankin invoice 769 slash 08/2023 08 08/2023. So you updated that info. You can also copy it from here, invoice, but let me copy it from here. So you got the idea. I wanted to correct the an error. I put the N in capital, but then I realized that instead of correcting, I just copy paste from the reference number. So it will give you one more idea that you can. It is not only the name or something that you can copy. You can copy anything you want in the QuickBook and paste it to other place. So Control V. Now you can see it's copied here. So once it is done, you updated this thing, and then Rankin invoice number such and such. So again, you are paying this bill for insurance. Then you can come here. You see, either you can open it and search for the expense by yourself. But if you know that it will take time, because you have a lot of heads to pay from, simply type the thing like you are paying for insurance, click I. And then all the items that are coming with the I will be shown. And in that one, you know that you want to use the insurance expense. So you'll be selecting this item, and it's good. And then no other information to be updated. So now you can just simply say save and close. So we created two bills. One is for the GBAB wireless and one is for the Rankin family. The next part is like once, if you see the flow, the first thing was to create or edit or add or delete the vendors. The second part is entering the bills. The third part is, of course, how to pay the bills. So now we'll be learning how to pay the bills. That's again very easy. You just need to click the pay bills button. That's it. Or you can also go to the enter bills, and let's say you can select the bill that you want to pay. Let's say Bayshore City Water, and the amount is 525. You can just simply click pay bill, and then you will be in the pay bill option. But right now we are not doing it. We just go directly by the option that the book is telling us. So you can select, like if you are on the desktop, you can just simply click pay bills, and then in the pay bills you will be paying the bill for Rankin Family Insurance. So you can see Rankin Family Insurance bill is here. So you can just simply click that part. Once you select it, you see all the relative information popped up. And in this one, you will find that uh, you have to pay this bill for $125. Like you are paying this bill for $125, or due is $125, and you will be paying from your checking account, and your checking account balance is this much. So uh, let's start working with the transaction. So you have selected the payment of Rankin family, and you will be paying using the check. You will be paying on 9/18/23. So you have to correct the date. This will be your payment date. So now you know the payment date, you know that you're paying by check. And then, of course, you need to assign a check number. So here is the important part. If you want to assign a check number right away, you'll be clicking this part. And then you'll be moving to the next transaction. And then as soon as the next screen comes up, it will be asking you for the check number. But if you want to issue a lot of checks, and you'll be start printing the checks afterwards. Let's say if you have to issue 100 checks, and if you keep on giving assigned check number, then you have to assign each check the right number, like without any mistake. Otherwise, uh, there are chances that you can issue two checks with the same number, right? So in order to avoid that part, we can also do that to be printed. Once I do it, and then I'll update all the checks, let's say 100 checks or 1000 checks. Once I create all of them by using the pay bills, once they are all created, you can just simply give the first check number, and it will give the rest of the check numbers by itself automatically. So let's see how it says. Here it says select it as to be printed, and we'll be printing it from the checking account, and then simply pay selected bills. So here you can see that we are paying one bill, which is 125.49, but it also allows us to issue more checks or pay more bills. So we can also do the same part, like we are using the pay more bills option to pay one more payment. So again, normally when you're making payment, there are two ways. Either you are paying it in full, or you are paying it in you can say installments or partly payment. So previously we have done the full payment, where we just select the vendor, and automatically the total amount is selected. We just select the date and the check mode of payment, and we are done. But here we are not paying the entire amount. We are paying the like, let's say, installment part of it. So how we can do? We are paying for the GJB wireless. As soon as I select, you see on the right corner, the payment amount becomes 6128. But we don't want to pay 6128. We only want to pay 25. So I'll just delete everything and then click 50. we only want to pay $50. We select it and then say pay selected. The process is same. You are paying it to so we are paying $50 to GJB Wireless. Other information is with us. So as soon as you selected 50, uh, of course you will be you are once you are done with the transaction, you will see that the outstanding balance with GJB Wireless will be equal to 11.28 or something. So now once it is done, what you need to do is pay selected bill. So now this payment is also ready for payment, and then click pay more bills. And then you see, because you have paid the GJB Wireless $61 bill partially for with $50, you can see that now the 1128 is the remaining balance. So that's it. So here you can simply click cancel, and you already made two payments. One is of $50 and the other one is of some $125 for two vendors. So once it is done, now it's time for printing the checks. Why? Because you have issued two payments and now it's time for printing the checks. So it's the same like when you want to, like in Excel, when we were working, depend on the requirement, we are pressing the buttons as per the requirement. So here the requirement is printing checks. So just click the print checks. Now you can see there are two payments coming. Let me open the exercise now. So that one is okay. So instead of issuing the check from here, uh, exercise wants to make some more checks for different other vendors. We already have three checks pending. One is Rankin Family, and the other one is GJB Wireless, and one is Bayshore City that was created before. These two checks we just created. Now we are learning how to write the checks. So instead of printing check right now, we'll go with the write check option first. So we want to create some more uh, we are creating some more manual checks. So let's start working with that. So if you want to write some checks manually, you can simply click write. Normally when we are making payment bills, we just click this button, but here we are writing checks when like for some of the expenses manually. So we click this one, write checks. So once I click it, just make sure that you can select the or checkbox mark for print later. Why? Because you will be printing all the checks together. So once it is marked print later, you'll be paying it using your checking account. The date of this check will be 10/10/23. /10/2023, and you'll be paying it to Sandy Property Management. Sandy, and you can see the name of the customer vendor comes up. So now it's the rent of your property. The amount to pay is $750. Very cheap, right? Otherwise, Los Angeles is not that cheap. And then we'll be paying this rent for the month of January 2024. So we'll be putting it in the memo. Sandy property. Sandy property. Comma, rent 01/2024. This is we have updated the information that the rent for that one paid to this person or this company. You have updated that part. System is already marked this expense as the rent expense. So every information is there. So once you are done with it, simply say uh, save and new. So we are updating one more check. And this time we will be using the same information like print later. Checking account will be the one where you'll be issuing the check. You'll be issuing this check to Bayshore Cafe. So let's start typing this name because I can't see it. I can see Bayshore City Water, Bayshore, but Bayshore Cafe is not there. Once I type it, you see this name of the vendor is not with me. So I can simply press the tab button. Once I press it, it says, do you want to quick add or do you want to set up? You remember last time we have done this complete setup. This time we'll be just doing the quick setup. Just do quick setup. And then you see it's a vendor. So we'll be selecting it as a vendor and then click OK. And then here you'll be using it as like the amount you need to pay is 37.49. If you remember in the last time when we were updating the name of the vendor, we did a lot of information. But here we just need the name of the vendor and then we continue with the bill. 37.49, and then we can just type here in the memo why it is for. So it is a Bayshore Cafe. Bayshore Cafe. Lunch with client. Lunch with client, and for it was done for the month of December 2023. So once it is done, you can just simply choose, like as I said, whenever we are doing any expense, we need to track it at what type of expense we made. The same way, this is we have paid from the meals and expenses. So you can just simply meals and entertainment. So you can just simply click this one and select for the meal and yeah. So you can select meals and entertainment. Here it is. So once you select it, uh, system has already put the total value in here, 37.49. Just simply say save and close, and your transaction is done. Once it is done, it's time to print the checks. You created 3 checks by creating the pay bills and 2 checks using the physically or manually writing the checks. So here you can see the print checks option. And previously only 3 checks were coming. Now there are 5 checks which are coming. It's And let's say if there are many checks, and if you remember that if when we are issuing the checks, it was asking us to insert the check number. If we have done it, then we have to remember first one is 1249, the second one is 1250, something like this, and keep on updating. But here we know that we have updated all the checks. We have given the system to print the checks. So system is asking us what number you want me to start from. You just need to give one number that you have used the last time. That's it. And then for rest of the check, system will take care of the check numbers. So let's say in this exercise, we are giving the check number as 1249 because the last check number that we issued, let's say, was 1248. So the new check number will be 1249. And then you just need to click OK. And it's done. So now it will be telling you what type of mode, or you can say style of checks you want. Is it the voucher style, standard style, wallet style? You can select any of these, but in the exercise, there is no such requirement. Okay, what type of check you want to select. So you can just simply go with the voucher or whatever you want, and then click print. So I made a mistake. It was asking only for one check to be printed. So uh, but anyways, I already done it, so I cannot go back. But yeah, you can just simply click the print button. Then all the checks will be ready. You can just download it on your desktop by, or let me make it from the classes. And then I just put it here, checks for uh, for vendor class. So I know that this is this folder. Just save it, and now this entire thing is saved. So once it is done, you can just simply click OK. It has already given the check numbers, the number 12491250515253. Simply click OK. You are done. Just in case, if you the only difference is that I missed is selecting. If I have selected the specific one check, it could have only printed one check only. Like the system was, or the exercise was asking me to print only the check of, I think, Sandy Property Management. So if I have selected that check only, it has only printed that part. But right now I have printed all of it, so uh, it has printed all. One more thing, uh, ultimately, like in the next exercise or in the next, uh, you can say, uh, bullet point, the system asks us to print the entire of the checks. So it was asking us to print one check one time and rest of the check in the second transaction. So I did all of them in one transaction. Just in case, if you want to print one check, you can select that cell, give the check number, and then you can just click OK, and then it will print that check specifically. That was the only difference. Otherwise, we have done done that transaction. So now we will be learning, if you make a mistake in any of the vendor transaction, how you can correct it. The same way we have learned in the customers. If we make any mistake in the customers transaction, like issuing the invoice with the different rate or something, if you want to reduce the invoice money, that we can do for the customer. The same way, when we are working with the vendors, we actually can make the we actually can make uh, uh, we actually can make editing with those invoices, with those bills as well. So how we can do that? Very simple. Simply go to edit option on the top. Once you click it, it says find or search option. So you'll be selecting this like that specific bill using the find option. Once you select it, it says what type of transaction you're looking for. I am looking for the bill. And if you select the bill, then it asks uh, you'll be looking for the vendor's name. So the vendor name is Ricky's Electricity. So here's the bill. Once you select it, and then you can just click the find button, and then it gives you two bills. One is 245, the other one is 125. So you need to pay one of these bill, which is you need to pay the bill of 3D printer. Repair 3D printer. Maybe I have already paid for this transaction before while I was uh, like uh, like working with other students. So it shows me that outstanding bill is only 125. But as per the book, the outstanding due is 225. So just to give you the idea that I already have this number, uh, so we can just do that part. So you can just oh, it was already 125. So now we need to update it as 225. So this is what we want to do. Like we got the transaction, and then when I read the requirement, it says that we need to change it to 225. It's not 225, it was to 125, but we need to update it to 225. Again, remember that when you are changing the money, uh, always refer it to your customer. At the same time, if you are changing in your records the money for the vendors, it again, when you are increasing the cost to your customers, take their permission. Reducing the cost will not make them unhappy. The same way, when you are decreasing the selling, like when you are decreasing the uh, the the price offered by your vendor, you need to take their permission, because you will be paying them lesser than what they want. But in this transaction, we are paying $100 extra to the vendors, so customer will not be unhappy. But at the same time, you can just let them know, or you may have received some discount from customer, or something like this. Sorry, discount from your vendor, or sometimes if you have received the increase in price from the vendor, so it is from your vendor. So now let's say if you agree with that, you are updating your data with that amount. So previously you need to pay to your vendor is $125. Now he increased the payment amount due from 125 to 225. So you simply click this bill from anywhere. So once the bill is open, instead of 125, you can just type here 225. So once you type the 225, uh, your customer will always happy. Why? Because you are giving him, sorry, your vendor will happy because you are giving him more money. So there's not much problem here. But if you have reduced the price, then you need to make sure that your vendor is agreeing on this price reduction. So once you put the right amount in the place, just simply click save and close. And then it says you have changed transaction. Do you want to record your changes? Say yes. And now this is changed. And previously that was minus 125. Now it is plus 125. And as if you remember, I told you, uh, when you are working with assets, if the assets are increasing, like if your assets are you can say, if your assets are increasing, then you will be doing with the debit, like you will be working with the debit side increase. But when it comes to the liabilities, so these are your liabilities. So when your liabilities are increasing, so then you need to when your liabilities are you can say uh, the same way, like when your assets are increasing, then you will be using debit side. When your liabilities are increasing, then you'll be updating it in the credit side. So here is the same thing, but that will be the when you are working with the double entry system, then you'll be getting it to know. But right now, just to give you the idea that here you can see the minus sign that is showing that part. So once it is updated, you can just simply close it because you're already done with the transaction. And then again, you will be writing the checks. Uh, So now, so you have already written some of the checks, and now you are voiding those checks because of some mistakes in that one. So let's do that part. So you have already issued some checks, so you can go to the write checks option, and then you can just simply select those checks. So we are looking for a check that was check number 1251. So this is a check that I need to update. Uh, no, we need to work for the Bayshore City Water. Yeah, this is the check that we want to void. So once we found the check that we want to void, there are many reasons to void the check. Maybe the vendor came to us and then taken another check. Sometimes we have issued the check to the vendor, and when the due date comes in, we pay them in cash. So all of these different scenarios are there. But based on that, once, let's say, if your due date are there and you want to pay to your vendors, uh, but at the same time vendor comes to you earlier and he take the money in cash, then you will be voiding this check in your system because you already settled with your vendor, but your QuickBook will still show that you need to pay to your vendor. So you are updating that part. So once you receive this check, you can just simply see on the top the void option is there. So let me Okay. So once you can see that this is the check that I need to void. So if you click this delete button, you will find the void option. Click it, and this check will be void. So but this check is void, but you need to make sure that in future, if you find this check, you know the reason of the voiding. So you can just simply type in the memo, because your memo, always remember, you remember your things 1 day, 2 day, 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, but you don't know when the auditor comes in, like after 1.5 years they comes and then they ask you questions. And I know we don't remember the things which happened like 1 week before. But just to give you the idea that if you have put the information, accountants are there to keep the records straight, or you can say the bookkeepers are there to keep the records straight. But let's say if we are working for a lot of companies as a bookkeeper part time, or let's say if we are maintaining a very big account, one account, and then we forget things, it will be a bad impression on others that there are a lot of checks which are void, or why there are things are happening which we don't remember, or which we don't know. So always remember that whenever you're doing a void, delete, these type of transactions, always put the remarks in the memo. These memo remarks will always help you in the future. Like they will help you in understanding that what happened, why you did this transaction. So let's start voiding the check. The simple, we have select the void, and then we'll put the remarks incorrectly processed should have been entered through tables, not right checks, right? So now you put the remarks. Now, no matter how many days after someone asks you why this happened, even they will not be asking you. They will just reading it, and then they will know that what happened on that day and why you void it, right? So once you are like save and close, so save and close, right? Yeah. So we don't have any more transactions, so we're doing save and close, and then it says uh, to maintain the accuracy of the financial reports and balance the account affected by the check, QuickBook can create a journal entry in the earlier period and a reversing journal entry in the current period. So you see, it is manipulating the data with the past. So we can just simply say no, just void the check, because we are doing the transaction right now. So then we go to the vendors payables in here, and then in this one we can select the Bayshore City Cafe, which is here, and then payment date is 15, sorry, 11/25/23. So we will be putting the date here, 11/25/23, 11/25/23, and then check to be printed, and then just simply place selected bills. So once it is done, you want to pay it later on, like you will be giving the numbers another later on, you can just simply say done. That's it. You are not printing right now. If you say print checks, that will be asking you for the number. But right now, as per the exercise, we are done with it. So we'll just simply click done, and is gone, finish. So now that's how you can uh, that's how you can work with the vendors. And in the vendors, you can also go to the reports. Like if you go to the report section, just a minute, let the meeting window goes up. So in the report section, you can go to the reports, vendors, and payables, and then you can like make a lot of different type of reports which are here. Uh, like you can create a report which is vendors and payables, vendor balance details. So you can see vendors and payable, vendors balance details. So it will show you the balance of different vendors. Uh, if you want to print it, you can always print from here. If you want to save it on your desktop, like as a PDF, you can also save as PDF. If you want to create it as an Excel file, you can do it, create new worksheet, and then download it. So there are different ways of doing it. If you just want to print it, you can just simply print it, and then you can just simply print report, and then it will be downloaded as a report. I suggest whenever you are doing this part, always save as PDF so that all the reports that you are downloading are saved on your desktop. And when the auditor comes in, or if someone wants to audit your details or reports, they can get the data from you then and there, rather than you just looking here and there. So always remember, and there are different reports, like you can, summary report you can download. So let's say you go to the same reports, and then vendors and payables, vendors summary reports, which is like the balance summary. You can click it, and then you'll see this is the report, and then you can uh, see that the GJB wireless has 11.28 outstanding as on such and such date, and Ricky's has this much outstanding on such and such date. So this is what you can see in the balance summaries, reports, and expenses by you can say expenses by vendor summary. There's one more report as per the book, like that you can, that you, if you want to download, that is now it comes to your expenses, because the heading of the report is expenses by vendor summary. So you'll be going first to your company and financial, and then you can go with the expenses by vendor summary. If you click it, it will create that report, and then it depends that right now it is only for the period of let's say January 1 to October 20, but you can also select all, because we are doing the transaction in future dates, so it will give you the data. So all of these reports are possible, and again, you can also print this report, save this report as PDF, print it as an like save it as an Excel file, or you can email this to your like manager or the owner of the company if you are working as a contractor for the accounting. So you can use it as like these reports for the purpose you want to. So these are all these things that we actually work with the vendors. Uh, so in the next, so now you can have, if you want, you can practice from, like, not you want, you you must be practicing from page number 80 to page number 90. And we don't have the class on this Wednesday, as we have discussed, that we will be, either we can do it on Friday in the morning, or we have to push it to the later part. So if like whatever is feasible for you, so just let me know so that I can just make my schedule that way. So are you available on Friday on this
Yeah.
at the same? You're available? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll be having the class for this week on Friday
Okay.
at the same time, 10 to 1. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Gina. Yeah, that was very important part. So you'll be having like almost 4 or 5 days to work with these exercises. If you have any problem, call me, message me, email me. I'll respond to you. So don't worry about it, because nowadays, because of pandemic, we are not going anywhere. We are staying at home. So yeah, just remember that part, that exercises are more like 3 exercises or 4 exercises for the customers part. 4 exercises are for the vendors part. So you can do 1 exercise from customer, 1 from vendor. You have more time, go back to the customers, do another exercise for customers, come back to vendor, 1 more exercise from vendor. So you will be knowing that if there is, like, let's say if you complete 4 exercises of customers, you will not know whether you are good with the vendors or not. But if you complete 1 exercise from each of them, one by one, what will happen? You will be keep on learning. Like if you stuck somewhere, you will know that where you are stuck, and then we can discuss it in the next class or within the week. Like if you feel that you're stuck somewhere, and you want to discuss, you can call me, and then we can discuss that part. Don't worry about it. So you need, like, we have 4 exercises after customers, 4 exercises after vendors. We need to complete at least 2 to 3 exercises from each of them. But don't finish customers first and then vendors first. Complete 1 exercise from customers, 1 from vendors. You still have time. Go back to customers. Go one more exercise from customers. Come back to vendors. Do another exercise from vendors. So you'll be working with both the exercises, both type of exercises, and you will know that where you need help for the next class. You got my point? Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So thank you, Ms. Gina. Thank you for your like patience. Of course, I was late today. Thank you for your patience, and see you on Friday at 10 a.m. inshallah.
Okay. We'll see you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.